I'm going to show you the steps for recording or creating the tic-tac-toe board. So let's go through those particular steps. This was the list of requirements. The base of the board is going to be 76 millimeters by 76 by 12 millimeters tall. We're going to have cutouts, so if we're going to play the game with marbles, the marbles would go into cutouts on the top of the board. The spacing between each one of these squares needs to be 2 millimeters wide, and it'll go the full length of the piece. So to get started, you're going to make a brand new drawing, drag one of the boxes onto the screen, resize it to be 76 by 76. Height of it may be 10 or 12 millimeters tall. Next step, we're going to replace the work plane. This button here, drag it down, drop it on top of this block, and that'll reset the work plane. That means that future items that we place will be right on top of this red block. You won't have to move them around as much. So replacing and resetting the work plane makes life much easier. After you do that, we are going to start placing some more boxes. I made mine green so you can see the difference between the two. Grab a box, drop it on the work plane, set it to be 24 by 24, and I set mine to be 4 millimeters tall. Line it up here in the corner. Then use the duplicate button. That button there will duplicate. So this one, it'll duplicate it. You can move it and put it on the opposite corner. Duplicate again, put one in the middle. Select all three and you can do duplicate, put 2 more rows. You'll end up with 9 green squares on here when you're done. Once you're done with that, join everything together so it's one entity. So select your items and then join them together, group them together. Next, we are going to put some circles into it. So we're going to move the work plane again to the top of the green little squares. So grab the work plane, reset it on top of this. Grab a sphere, drop it in here, resize it to 12 millimeter diameter, which means this distance, and the vertical distance will all be the same. Position it, lower it down so it's going halfway through this box because we want to cut out the bottom half of that. We're going to duplicate it across all 9, make it a hole. I would probably make it a hole before duplicating it, and then you can cut that out, and that'll leave our nice little holes. Last steps are going to be to send it to me. In theory, this should work, although sometimes it doesn't. Go back to this view of your model. There's a download button that you can select, and when you select download, you'll have an option for a couple of formats to select, STL, and then share it with, I can't get to that last slide, there we go, share it with Classroom so that I can have a look at it. So the instructions are here for that. So in theory, we're going to end up with a nice tic-tac-toe board when you're done. All right.